Hello, fellow YouTubers, dear friends of space exploration. This is part 2 of the Victoria Crater Secret. I'm bringing you new evidence of a lost civilization and their rituals and their burial grounds. All you can see in the photos that NASA took of Victoria Crater. Spirit rover 6 years ago um, shot pictures which are really very interesting, and they're not so pixelated like the pictures we get now from Gale Crater, for example. So let's dig into these pictures. I did a lot of work on some uh, Cape St. Mary pictures, and I will show you the chains and the interlinking parts on these pictures. So, but first, to get an overview, we get to a high-rise picture, an orbiter picture of Gale Crater. You see this crater was once round, but the sandstone gave in to erosion, and now you have this very beautiful star-shaped form. And today we will see photos from these two positions. Like the green spot is the first picture we see, and the red spot is the second picture we see. This area is called Duck Bay, and we will see that the ducks NASA was seeing were all chains and chain links that were crumbled down on the bottom of this area here. The second photo is taken from here on Cape Verde, and you will see this the same construction there what I showed you in the previous video in part 1. So if you have doesn't seen part 1, check it out, because it's maybe interesting for understanding this part. So let's go to the first picture. And this is this picture, how it's delivered from NASA. It's beautiful orange color. I'm sure that's not the real color, but anyway, it's beautiful. And let's go first on this side of the crater. You see, this is Duck's Bay or Duck Bay. This is Cape St. Mary. No, this is Cape Verde, and behind it somewhere is Cape St. Mary, which is our second photo. But now for this, let's zoom here closer. This is the area I showed you before. It's all kind of mangled stuff lying here. Let's go closer and closer. And this is the original, like NASA gives it to you. But without modification, you can easily see here kind of interlinked members of a chain, and you can see round stuff with black dots in it. So when I do the blur sharpen routine, like I learned on Mars Anomaly channel, and sharpen out some of the other detail, I get some kind of this picture. See, it's sharpener, and it's I emphasize the parts on which I think are the interesting spots here. So let's make it a little bit brighter, black and white. It's better, so the color's not so disturbing. Another thing, and now let's look at this. I promise you that here on the crater rim, like coming from here, all around the crater there was a huge chain. Not the chains like the normal chains, but they were like your bracelet chain, like special linked chains, very beautiful, and they were lying here all around the crater rim, holded by fixations which were here and here and here and here and here and here. And here you see more of it. See? It's like a small statue maybe, you know? And here and all around here. And here I show you what I found out where the chains are lying. Like, let's make it a little brighter. So the orange colored lines are where the chains now are lying under the surface or near the surface or on the surface. We go closer and we see here the broken members of the chain, here chain lying. It all came down from the crater rim. You know, some days the fixation maybe broke here and it came down, maybe it's lying here or here, and all the chain, it was ripping it apart and crushing it down here. You see, I think this is the huge chain from the crater rim going all along here. Let's making it a little lighter so we see better. So it was coming down from here, making a big landslide over this crater rim. And here you can see the chains coming down. Here you have another part of maybe some built structures. Here some poles. Here member of the chains. And when we go further to this cliff side, we can see different kind of structures. Like here, I think this is a chain holder or maybe a statue. Here is a statue definitely. See, I made it like red. I can show it without, but you can see this area is very important because I show you in a minute. I show you another picture taken from another crater some days later, and you see this area where is nothing. NASA took out everything. I will show you later. So you see here like burial grounds, like here. This platform, here's a sarcophagus, here are chains, here is a little statue sitting with his arm on the rock, sitting here with his legs down, here's the head. Maybe that's a votive statue for the dead, you know, who here on this platform, I also put out the platforms, they're everywhere connected with the chains. Let's go on the other side of this cliff. Here also maybe some statues, maybe there's a guy who's climbing up one chain. You see, the chains are everywhere here. Maybe here's a burial places here. What I mean with burial places, I can show you on this picture. See, it's like defined spaces, rectangular spaces with skulls and pottery, like here, and masks and statues. Here more skulls, and of course with a body, like here, like sitting here or in this basket inside. On Mars, it's more like here, you know. It's more like this picture. You see dislocated bodies and pottery. You see only faint remains of statues. Okay, it's more like here and here. Yeah. So let's go back. So here maybe is a statue from a guy climbing up the chain. You know, there's maybe another statue. And here are these rectangular places where the bodies are laid, like here and here. You see, it's all clear here. There's nothing but the sarcophagus, some pottery maybe, and this statue, and always a wall behind. You know, that's maybe very important. So you see, when I make a little more color, you see it's all over the place. The chains are all over the place, like going down here. Maybe let's look at this piece one more. Do you see it? The link chains of members of a chain. See it? Like here, coming down here, 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 everywhere. And let's go on to the other side. Here the chain was coming down here, here. Always here were members. See, they were all maybe there were ritual statues of the ancestors, connecting with connection points all the parts of the chain, you know, like a spider web. Coming around this corner, see, you see a little bit of the temple or of the statues here. Maybe let's make it a little sharper. Here, let's get it out a little bit more. Coming all around here, and what you see here, I think, is one of these star formed, like sun symbol formed pieces. Oh wait, laying on the side. You see there are holes in it, and there are rays going out where the chain is anchored. And very curious here is looking like a car. You see the windshield, you see the front. It's like a huge, like a truck, see, with something standing in front of it. I don't think it's a car. It looks like a car. You see, it looks very like a car, but I think it's the beginning of a chain, or it's the end chain link, like decorated or decorative chain link. Here you see another link connected to the chains. And here down, here, also chains. See? There are the chains, like, get it away. Here, here, all coming down. Here's links everywhere buried. Even if you don't see the chain, you see the top of the links, I think. See? Like here. And this is really curious here also. You see there's a cave, or there's the hole in the rock, and chains coming from all sides and are interlocking in the middle of this. Maybe that's a little bit like this. See what I mean? Like the chains coming from all directions and are connected in the middle with a piece of, I think it's also like the sun symbols or something like this, and the chain going down. Here maybe is another cave closed with the chains. The members you see all over here, all over this place. Here maybe there are stairs going up to a little temple. See? But the important thing is, and this is the big picture, there's a chain going all around the crater. There are chains lying in the crater interlinked with sun symbols, and on some parts it just broke down, make a landslide, and all these chains are now found here and here and here. I didn't find everything, of course. They are buried with sand, and a lot of them are like here, completely in the sand. Okay? So let's go on the other side. See, it's a beautiful crater. Every spot is very different. And here we come to Cape Verde. You see all the chains, like here. Here is a huge chain lying on the ground, fallen down from the top. See, I just killed that one. You see it? It was coming down from the cliff. Also, I marked the burial places with this pink color. See, coming from here, here's another temple. coming from the crater rim, going down here. And I found a picture that shows you a little bit how this could go from the horizontal chain to the vertical chain. I found a picture here from Cape Verde. It's showing Cabo Corrientes, and on Cabo Corrientes, this is the top. You see here the chain is coming from the back. Here with the last members, they have a hole for maybe a steel rod or something like this. The chain goes down to the next one. Here the last member is broken. The steel rod was coming out maybe. Here is a chain link. There's a rock in front of it. And on the plateau, just before the drop, there are like beautiful made, artificially carved, not carved, but metal made plates connecting to the vertical attachments of the chain. Like you see here, the chain is going down here, here, or coming up as you wish, and it's fixated here, and with these brackets they are interlocked with the rock. The chain snapped and the rock came forward. Maybe the chains were also a fixation also for the rocks, because of course in the 100,000 years or 1,000 years there are earthquakes, there are storms, there's decaying material, so it's all quite a mess, you know. But you can see very beautiful here where the chains are. Let's go a little bit closer here. See, here are the interlocking parts of the chain. Here's a piece, here are interlocking parts, here going up to the cliff, and here you see this fixation. It's coming from the back, it's beautifully worked, it's like a metal, maybe hair, like a maybe that's a statue head, and that's the hair in the back. Maybe not, but it's only my fantasy. But you can see this is not a natural structure. This is braided, you know. This is steel braided together to make a very strong fixation for metal chains, like you see here, like you see here, like you see here. Like you see here. Okay. So let's go back. Let's get to another very interesting place. It's this one, where you have niches and something in it. I couldn't make out what is it in these niches, you know. But this looks like the picture of a child sitting with one hand, with the other arm, and the legs. A chain is in the back. You see how it's retouched here. A chain is coming down, going down here, going down. So maybe the ancestors have statues here. You see the chain, you see the symbols, and you see this. Let's make it a little bit lighter. No, wait. Here. Let's make it a little bit lighter. You see all kind of... Here's the sun symbol again, with the chains coming out of it. You see? That's the middle piece. You see here it's a horse, or an animal, huge one, like a giraffe. You see a wall in front of it. You see some room, maybe some wall. You see a statue here, a small one. You see a phallus symbol, like here. You see stairs. You see a circle, something coming out of it. You see all kind of stuff, and maybe I think this is a chain. You see? Here are the links. This is a chain coming down from here. Maybe it was like going down here in the middle, and now it's lying here. Chain coming up here. Everywhere are these chains here in this picture. On the top, some interesting rocks, which can also be like maybe statues. Like I can show you what it's the. This is the unsharpened version. This is the sharpened version. So you see, if you go with your sharpen tool and something comes out very quickly, boom! It's you have a point. You see here, here, and there's this cross on this rock. I don't know what it means. Maybe you know. So also this part here, you see this, maybe it's a sarcophagus, maybe here is somebody lying. You see these rectangular shapes, you see here a chain going in front of it. It's carved out of this rock. It's a nice platform, see? So I think the rocks are connected, the statues are connected, the graves of these people are all connected with chains. I think that it's a nice symbol. It's everybody is connected with everyone. Maybe they understood more than we do, you know. Let's go to the other side once more. You see the chain here. Go to the big picture now. All come down. I'm sure everywhere in this crater it's stuff like there, which I showed you. So let's go to the second picture. It's Cape St. Mary, and this is what we get from NASA. Let's begin here. Even without doing anything with the picture, we see very nice parts here, like this shell, or these platforms with stuff on it, or here it's like there the chain was fixated on rods like this, I think. Everywhere stuff. So, and when we do our routine, you know, the blur sharpen routine, we can find all kind of stuff, more kind of stuff. For example, this here. What is this? So let's bring it down a little bit so it's not distracting. And this is the original picture. This is what I made. And this is the middle. Maybe 40% or so. That's good. So it's not too distracting, but you can see everything very clear. You see here the chain going down. See it? Coming up from here, going up, going up, going up here. Here's a fixation of a chain. See, coming out of the rock. Here's a nice part. Chain was coming down from the rock and is just lying in a huge pile on this platform. Maybe this is a fixation here in the background. You see the chain in the dark. They forgot, you know, they cannot hide everything because they're only people. Also NASA's artists are only people. They forget stuff, you know, like here the chain, the fixations for the chain. Here is also some weird part coming out of the rock. Here, this part, you see this? This is heavily smudged, so I had a hard time bringing it back up again, and I don't really know what it is, but you know the shape is very curious. Here chains, chains, also here. There's a statue, I think. You know, a statue of a guy climbing up, holding tight on the rope, This is one hand, this is the other. His face, of course, everything is covered with sand. Uh, I think this is a skull here. And chains. Chains. Also platforms here, platforms everywhere with stuff lying. I think this is a body. Let's bring it out a little bit. Let's take the sharpen tool, make it 100% here. I think this is a body, a skeleton body. See, this is the head, this is the head, the ribs, arm, legs, so on. This is some pottery. Maybe there's an animal head right beside him. Here is links of the chain going up this way. See some curious parts. Maybe it's a dead animal head. Here more fixations of the chain. Also here. But as I said, I'm giving you the big picture. I looked for hours on this picture, and there's tons of stuff here. You can spend hours and days in this picture and don't find everything. So I tried to make it a little bit more visible, and I every platform I found with stuff on it, I pictured out for you, and also the chains. You see, everywhere I found remains of a chain. I linked all the parts together, and as you see, they're going from platform to platform, from up to down. Coming from the top of the crater, you see here some remains, but there's so much rubble here, and you cannot distinguish a lot. But here, coming the chains down here, interconnecting all these platforms. See? All these platforms. Let's go to this platform area. Let's put it away. See, on this platform, I think this is a body. I think these are remains of a body. I think there are chains lying here. See, rubble of chains coming down from here, from above. Here's another body. You see the marks of the chains in the rock. I think it carved itself into the rock because it was lying such a long time. I think here's a skull. I think here's a fixation for the chain. And when we go, here is a chain, and when we go down all the way, we see the fixations, the bottom fixations here, over here. And the chains are lying in huge piles under the rock, like here. This is all chains. This is a huge pile of chains coming down from top and crowding up here on the floor. And I think this is the end of the chain. They have very decorative interlinked rounded chain. Here is a chain, here is a fixation, the chain going under the sand. And it's everywhere. It's even where the spirit rover stands are chains, like here, going down there, going down there. Here I think is a skull with bones. Something lying here, like this, you see? Here are chains. Also here, you see chains. Here's a middle part of the chain, interlinking part. Here's some chains and parts maybe of the fixation. Maybe there's a body, but there's also a chain like coming here, going down under the sand, coming up from the sand. Here is a fixation up here. Here is a fixation. Yeah, there's stuff lying here on this platform. Of course, there are a lot of rocks, a lot of rocks here in this picture. But not everything is rock. See, there's a chain going inside under this rock, coming out of it here, braiding over this rock, going down. Here's a fixation, here's a chain. More skulls, fixations. I think I made my point. I think everything here has to do with burial rites. You know? Maybe you can think about it like this a little bit. Like there's a cliff, and in the cliff they worked in the sandstone pieces like statues and walls, like towers and citadels, meeting rooms, living quarters, whatever. I think you find it here a little bit. Because I think the part on top, the crater rim is over there on top. And I think there was a plateau, a huge plateau, with a lot of like small temples and maybe also living houses. I think that's a part that are remaining of these temples, and there are chains also on top of this. I think also the chains and all this heavy stuff ripped down the cliffside. Here you see a chain, huge one, going down. Here are chains, everywhere. There are even chain spider webs, like here. Here coming down from this position, from this fixation. Sorry. Here's something lying. Maybe a body. Okay, I think I made my point. So, to look at the big picture once more, I give it to you. Here. You see, they're interlinking the platforms, they're interlinked to themselves, and everywhere you look, you have marks on the rock where these chains were lying, were fixated. And all on these platforms, let's go maybe to this platform here. That's interesting. You see the sarcophagus maybe, you see all kind of pieces. Maybe this was a pole, this is bent down because you have a shadow under it. That doesn't look like rocks, that look like stuff that was laid out in order in a burial ritus. You have here, maybe that's a skull. Here is definitely a skull, maybe an animal skull. You see this? This is they forgot to clear the chain here. It's hard stuff for the NASA guys, because this is so many stuff here. You have to work like weeks on this photo to get everything away, so we cannot see it. They tried to do it with us, but of course we see it. There's no way they can hide it. You know, the chains like this lying under the sand. Chain rubble like this lying under the sand. Imagine this with sand on it, you know. Let's go back to this picture again, because I wanted to show how NASA hides this stuff, you know. Like, take a look at this area, exactly this area, and now now check out this picture. There's nothing anymore, you see? Even the statue I figured out for you before, it's gone. It's like whited out, you see? And on this part, there's nothing. Let's go back to the other one. See? Here, in this part, see this part here? Now look at the other. There's nothing. It's completely blacked out. And the statue? See, here's the statue. Here's some fixations, completely blacked out. So the next time, the part 2 is now over. The next time I will get you with the picture manipulation that NASA does. I have pictures from one cliff from different angles, and you will see that how NASA tries to cover it up, but of course it's not working. And I think I can give you the real stuff out of these 3 pictures. Okay, so for now I'm closing down. See you in part 3. Bye bye.